However, once I started to do this simple yet effective activity, it changed everything for me. So at the end of every single day, I ask myself, how can I be a better version of myself tomorrow than I was today? So I go through my activities, run them through my head, highlight which activity that I want to be better at, and then I start to implement that on a day-to-day. So one of my favorite sayings is practice makes progress. So as we're continuing to navigate and grow and develop, practice makes progress. So if you did this for 1 week, 1 month, or 1 year, would you be a better version of you? So I invite you to try this exercise, as it was a game changer for me, and notice the results that you have by doing this for 1 week or 1 month or 1 year, being the better version of you. It's powerful and it's definitely a game changer. So I invite you to try that exercise out. All right. Akashx social trading training time. I practiced saying that, so I didn't flub it. Akashx social trading training time. Please welcome back the Director of Alternative Investments, who has over 15 years as a licensed broker in futures and Forex alternative investments, AJ Westerfield. AJ, say hello to our friends tuning in from around the world.
Hey, Chris. Hey, everyone. Happy Tuesday. Hope you're all having a great day. Hopefully it gets better here as we move forward. We're excited to be back and run through the social trading platform again. So we're going to go ahead and jump into it. Chris, I always like your little motivational insights at the beginning. Really does add some perspective. Keeps me on the positive. So, it's awesome. Noon here my time, so it's a good midday, refresher, because by this time start to fade a little bit. You're looking for that second cup of coffee. This is a better way to get a little boost.
Indeed it is.
All right, so I'm going to pull up my screen share here, and let's get on the platform. All right. So based on the last couple of weeks, I know we went through some more advanced stuff. It seems like there's a lot of new users or people with interest, even if you're not an actual user yet. So I thought it would be a good time to do a little recap and kind of go back and just cover an overall view of the platform again, kind of starting from the ground floor. So we're here on the social trading platform. This is the main screen. When you first get set up, you'll log in. And upon logging in, I'm already logged in, so I'm just going to cheat and click. Takes you to your dashboard. So this is the main screen, the main window. A lot of you are already familiar with. Shows your account information here, your equity, your balance, any P&L, margin, things like that. If you see here, it shows your portfolio. We're doing a fresh walkthrough, so I'm starting from scratch. I have a new login, nothing going on yet, no traders, no excitement, no activity. So when you get on, typically, first thing that you want to do is figure out who you want to follow of the traders available. Who's going to be a good fit for you? Who do you want to be a steward of your capital? So we come on here, and usually the first thing I recommend people to do is to check out the available traders, which you can do by clicking on the Traders tab right on the top. And that will take us to the top traders page, which is actually a good reminder for those of you that have been around. That promotion that we were running in February did get extended. It went well, so we were happy to extend it. The deadline originally was to get signed up by February 28th, but we've gone ahead and extended that. If you've gotten signed up in the last few days or through the end of the month, that is the end of March, we'll still waive the trader following fees on this select group of traders on this page here for the rest of the month. If you do decide to set up a new account and fund it with $5,000 or more, that still gets you next month as well. So those fees would also be waived in April. Again, just for this select group of traders that you see here on the free promotional trader screen. We can also click here to take a look at all the traders. Give it a second to load here. It's a pretty extensive list. Last time I looked, it was around 100 different traders available. We do bring on new traders from time to time, so it's never a bad idea, even if you've been on the platform, to revisit this every once in a while, see what's new, see if there's anything exciting. Maybe there's a new trader who's doing well and outperforming the trader you're currently with, and maybe it makes time to make some adjustments. But you wouldn't know if you don't look. So I always recommend checking back from time to time to see how the traders are doing, who's available, things like that. So you see it lists all the traders, gives you a little summary, their strategy name, a little bit about their recent performance, how much they have following them, profit, number of investors, things like that. But as we mentioned before, you can always click on the name of the strategy to bring up a more detailed section with their profile page that has a lot more information. And we'll do a couple examples of that in a minute. Did just want to show that you do have this little drop down here that sorts how the traders are displayed. So this is based on who was winning last month, who did well last month. You can see there's a lot of different options. Today, last week, last month. There is also this Akashx rank. You can sort them by Akashx rank. It's a proprietary ranking system that our traders desk came up with that takes a look at things such as profitability, risk management. They look at the drawdowns and average losing trades, win frequency, all that kind of stuff. Consistency. A lot of different factors go into this it's kind of a quick ranking system, and it ranks them in that order. So this might be a good place to start. You might want to check out the Akashx ranking, or any of the other things if you want to see okay, who's been doing the best recently. Maybe we look at the last month or last 3 months, maybe even the last week. One day is kind of a short analysis period, but if you want to see, maybe there was a day in the markets that looked like they were kind of rough and you wanted to see what traders did well yesterday, what traders did poor yesterday. You could sort by, winning today, while that day is going on. So let's just say that we want to do some deeper search. We do have the filter option here where you can do an advanced search. A lot of different criteria that you can search by. Such as, certain pairs that you're interested in, certain pairs you can choose which ones you want to see, the traders that trade those pairs. Some other quick filters here. Things such as running weeks in terms of how long have they been trading the strategy, how long is the track record, what their average pips per trade is. We had mentioned before that, the cost of using the platform, those transactional costs equate to about 2 pips per trade, so a pip in and a pip out. So you're paying about 2 pips in cost. So if you find a trader you like, but if he's only averaging 2 or 3, maybe 4 pips per trade, the fees are going to eat up a significant portion of those returns, and it might not make sense to follow that type of trader. If you're 6, 7 pips or above, then it starts to make sense, depending on the frequency of that trader and how often he trades. If he makes 6 pips per trade pretty regularly, he's trading often, and you're giving up 2, that means you're still keeping 4. And if he does enough trades, then that still adds up to a pretty nice return for your account. So that might still be worth considering. So just one thing to keep in mind there. Maximum drawdown, if you want to focus on those who manage risk the best, you could look for some with the lowest drawdowns, things like that. Other factors down here you can see. Number of trades, how many investors, things like that. So let's just say that we've put on our filters and, we've got this list that comes up, and we found a trader that we want to learn more about and see if we explore a little deeper, if there's still someone we might be interested in, right? So we can just click on a name from this list. So Fringuel, at the top here, here's their strategy. Just gives you some details about their background and their trading. Some people give more details than others. This is written by the trader themselves, so it'll vary from one to the next. Also, as their recommended settings, most traders do give you their recommended settings in terms of the minimum capital you need to, copy their strategy with similar money management that they use. Obviously you can trade with less, you can trade with more, and put in your own risk parameters. When we get to that point, we'll show you. But this is kind of the trader's recommended settings on how big your trade should be based on your account size. So for this one, he's recommending 1,000 to copy all traders' positions with 1 micro lot and 100 to 1 leverage. Keep in mind, in the US, regulations limit us to 50 to 1 leverage maximum. So we cannot get 100 to 1 leverage here in the US. The platform is global. A lot of places in the world you can get 100 to 1, which is more. Some places you can only get 30 to 1, which is less. Other places in the world it goes up to 500 to 1, which is significantly more leverage. So 100 is kind of a good medium. It's a good average amount. So that's why they use 100 to 1, because that's the most common. But here in the US, keep in mind it's 50 to 1. So if you get half the leverage, that means you need twice the capital. So for this customer, if it was 50, or for this trader, if it was 50 to 1 leverage, you would need 2,000 to copy him with 1 micro lot. Also gives you the option if you're doing the pro rata setting, which means that it will, copy the trade into your account. Instead of copying a fixed size with every trade, it will prorate the size of the trade based on the size of the trade the trader makes. So if he makes some trades bigger, some trades smaller, that would be reflected accordingly in the size of the trade that goes through to your account. Versus if you do a fixed copy setting, then every trade, regardless of how big or small the trader does, will be the same size in your account. So it's important to look at this to get an idea for what kind of capital you're going to need, or what kind of position sizing you should use based on the trader's recommended settings. You can also look a little further to see, what the trader's account balance is and what leverage he gets. And then if you go down, you can see with the size of the trades that he makes here in his trading history, and you can kind of compare and contrast to see like what type of minimums he uses for his own trading compared to what he's recommending here. So definitely take a look at the recommended settings. That's very important. So if we scroll down a little further, you'll see there's more information. The amount that is following this trader, his total profit, any open positions he have, what the P&L is on those, the length of his strategy, how long he's been trading this strategy, how long the track record goes back, what his return has been on his account, some risk factors such as the maximum drawdown, not only a percentage, but also what that dollar or euro figure was for his account, number of investors, things like that. We can come over here to the right, and you can see under the trading section, this first tab, profit, is his profit curve, shows the history of his profitability and the trades that he has made. You can also click here to go to the performance tab, which breaks it down month by month. So it'll show you his profits, both closed and unrealized or still open profits on all his trades on a month-by-month basis. Had a really good month in December, and so on and so on. You can click here to add or remove either of these factors. On the trading tab, we can click here to show a breakdown of all the different pairs that this trader trades. You can see this one's predominantly the British pound US dollar. These are some other pairs that he trades in his own account. Keep in mind, a trader who does a variety of different pairs might not have all of the pairs that he trades himself enabled for copy trading. And there's various reasons why that could be. Maybe there's certain pairs where he's not able to follow the hedging or FIFO rules that do exist here in the US, so we might not have those certain pairs enabled for US investors. If I remember correctly, this trader for US investors primarily just trades the British pound US dollar. Or he may have traded some of these pairs in the past, and maybe he no longer does. Maybe he focuses on other markets now, but they're in his track record, so they will be listed here. We can also click on the drawdown tab here You can see a history of the drawdowns, when they occurred, how much they were. You can even choose if you want to overlay that with his profit curve, and you can see when the drawdowns occurred, usually results in a downtrend in the profit curve, in these various different points. And you can also do it based on his closed trades only. So the profit curve does track profitability, including open trades. So P&L on open trades does get accounted for. Closed trades only includes the final result of the trade, not anything that happened over the course of the trade. So if you get in a trade and maybe you take a little heat in the beginning, you're underwater at first, and then it does come back and you end up closing it out for a winner, it wouldn't show that initial heat as the closed trades only. So you can change the way you look at that, different ways you can analyze it. One other thing to note is that here, the default setting is to have it in currency, but you can also choose pips. So it will display everything in pips. Total profit is now in pips, open positions in pips, the profit curve in the number of pips. Down here, some other statistics. You can see it's all been adjusted to pips too. Average pips per trade, 15.3. That's nice. But we can also go back and look at it from just a dollar standpoint. 94% winning trades. If you hover the cursor over that, it'll give you a breakdown by pair, what the percentages are for each pair based on his trading history, which is kind of nice. You can see which markets he tends to do best on. Total number of trades, winning trades, that's how you get to 94% win rate here. Maximum open trades, how many trades he'll potentially have open at one time based on what he's done in the past. Doesn't mean in the future he might not have more, but so far since he joined, this is the maximum number he's had so far. Again, the drawdown we talked about, average trade time, on average, how long is he in a trade when he puts it on? This one is about 1 day. So we can come down and look at his trading history. Again, here's every trade, what he traded, how big the trade was, when it opened, when it closed, the entry and exit prices, profit in pips and dollar terms, and then his cumulative profit, both also in pips and dollar terms. You can also click here to see any open positions they have currently. You'll scroll down, you can see, you can go through all of his trades. You can change the way it's displayed. And if you want, you can even export this data to Excel. If you want to do some additional analysis on your own, if you have other methods you want to use to analyze, if you're more of an analytical person, you're more than welcome to export the track record to Excel to study it in more detail. So let's say we've looked at a few different traders. We've kind of narrowed it down. We figured out who we want to trade. Let's say it's this particular trader here. If we want to start following them and have their trades copied into our brokerage account, we can do so by clicking on the follow button right here. It brings up this simple follow window with two things. A, you put in the amount of funds you want to invest of your available balance. You may remember from my dashboard, this account had $25,000 in it. And then you choose your risk appetite, how conservative or aggressive you want to be in terms of the risk to reward ratio based on what the trader uses and recommends to, what's going to be in your account. If you're more aggressive, you can choose to be more aggressive, and it will make, bigger trades, based on your available margin, or you can choose to be more conservative, and it will adjust the trade sizes accordingly. The nice thing about this is that you don't need to try to calculate how big your trade size should be. Akashx does it for you just based on your risk appetite, which you can put your cursor over the little info button, and it'll give you some details about how that's broken down. Limited time here to get through all this today, so it's there if you guys want to take a look. You can always do this on your own at home. So with this trader, to use the normal settings, as we saw in his window, it was 15,000 at 100 to 1. So in my account with 50 to 1, you need 30,000 to follow him 100% pro rata. So if we want to follow him, we'd have to go a little more aggressive. but that does increase our risk level. You can see we're getting this warning here. So it's going to copy his trades at 167% pro rata. So for every, let's call it one lot he does, we'll be doing 1.67 lots. So that's pretty aggressive. As a new customer, based on this account size, this might not be the best trader for me to start with. If you're aggressive and you want to, you're more than welcome to. But keep in mind, you're taking on some additional risk that you might not be able to copy the trader's strategy. Wanted to make sure that I highlighted this today. I know a lot of people are starting with, 2,000, 5,000, kind of more in that area. So you'll see there's going to be some traders that doesn't really make sense for you to get started with at that point. So I'm going to opt out of this trader, and I'm going to go back through the ranks and maybe go with someone else who has settings that are more appropriate for my account size. So let's say XMA Trading. Takes a second to load. Just for this example, I'm going to use all my available funds because I'm just going to put one trader. You can do multiple traders as long as the traders don't trade the same underlying pair. You can have 2 or 3 traders running in the same account. There's no problem with that. Based on his risk level, I've got room if I wanted to be a little more aggressive or not. I normally recommend not. Start with normal or start with conservative. Get a feel for the trading first before you start getting too aggressive and swinging for the fences. You're welcome to do whatever you see fit, but I normally recommend dipping your toes in the water before you dive in head first. I always like to get more aggressive and push my trade size as I accumulate profits in the account. Kind of pressing your winners, so to speak. For those of you in the Vegas area, I know there's quite a few. That's the way I'd like to approach it, but it's entirely up to you. You can choose your settings here. Once you have everything set up the way you want, the amount of funds and your risk appetite, just click the follow button at the bottom. You'll see my portfolio has been updated for XMA trading successfully. You can see here it says following as well. If I click here to go back to my account, you can see on my dashboard, this trader is now part of my portfolio. It has my copy settings here, pro rata 417%, because of the trader's recommendations to my account balance. I had room to trade significantly larger than he does. And then as trades come in, you'll see this start to update. The overall P&L on closed trades will be here. Any P&L from open trades here for my entire portfolio. It'll also show each trader individually. If I had additional traders in this portfolio, they would be listed just below here. You can check the different timelines for the P&L and equity curves that you have here. And as you're monitoring things, you can always check in on your positions. Any open positions will show here. You can even check on working orders. Any pending orders in the market that haven't filled yet will be listed here. We can click on the history tab to go through the trade history. You'd see all the trades from the trader, even anything from historically. Again, if you had multiple traders, it would break them down by trader. You have different filters you can choose here. And you can always change things. Remember, you're in control of this account. Even though the trader is doing all the trading, you can control things. So if there's a position on that you see in here that you don't want, there'll be a little X on the right side here. You can click on to close it. And if he has 4 or 5 trades on, you can choose just one to close. Or if you want to get out of everything, you can close them individually one by one or click on close all open positions. So even though the trader's doing the trading, you can override him at any point in time. You can also adjust your settings. Let's say you have been trading for a little while and you're seeing the trades go through, but you're a little uncomfortable with the size of the trades. You can always come in here and adjust. So if we click on this, it'll bring back up our window. For this one, I'm going to show you another option, which is the advanced window, where you can put in very specific criteria. Instead of using the general risk appetite calculations that the platform makes for you, Maybe after you've seen some trades go through, you know specifically what you want to do. So maybe I decided this is too big and I only want to copy it 300% pro rata now. The trades were a little too big. I was a little uncomfortable with some of them. So let's size them down a little bit to make them more in line with my risk tolerance. You can do that right here. You can also switch between pro rata and fixed. And if you choose fixed, then it will ask you the lot size. Mine right now is displaying in mini lots. So maybe, I want to start with just 10 mini lots. I can make that change here. You can see, again, the trader's recommended settings. This window here does pull in the leverage from your account. So it'll pull in your information from your actual brokerage account to tell you what your leverage is and adjust these calculations here so you know what you're going to be working with based on your actual account information. So I'm going to stick with pro rata. I'm going to keep it at 300, for example. And then I just go ahead and click update. Give it a couple seconds to load. And now you can see I'm copying this trader at 300% pro rata. If I go back to my dashboard, this should reset here. Strange, little lag there. Good thing it's a demo account. One other thing, I know we're getting on the last couple minutes here, very important for new people, I want to highlight. There is a relatively newer setting that was created maybe a couple months back, which you should get a pop-up when you first sign on after getting set up. This FIFO automation feature has been very helpful for a lot of the traders and a lot of the customers. Awanda, the broker that we work with, it's imperative for them that they make sure that all customer accounts stay in line with FIFO rules and regulations. FIFO meaning first in, first out. So if you scale into a pair with multiple positions, you need to exit those in the same order that you got in. So if you buy and then you wait a little bit and buy again, when you are exiting that position, you need to close that first buy before you close the second buy. That's what FIFO is. The way Awanda implements it is a little burdensome in that they're over compliant, I would say, which is a good thing. Their intention is to protect your account, but it does result in some trades that are still FIFO compliant getting rejected just because the potential down the road for non-compliance exists, which is a little burdensome. It's, I can see why they did it. It's a good thing to protect the accounts, but this feature will help some of those trades go through normally and not get rejected when they're really still an okay trade. So I highly recommend you take a look at the setting. It's been very helpful for a lot of people. You don't have to use it. It's entirely up to you. We would definitely recommend it though. It's been great. So I think that's our 30-minute window. Man, it goes quick. Every time it seems like shorter and shorter. That's kind of a brief overview for those of you that are new and are interested to kind of get a feel for what the platform is, how it works, what it does. Keep in mind, you pick your trader, their trades automatically get copied into your account once you choose to follow them. There's nothing you need to do. You're not putting the trades on yourself. They take care of all that for you. Copies automatically, but you're still in control. You can override anything at any time. Turn the traders on, turn the traders off. You can even remove them from your portfolio altogether. You can see now he's gone. When this does refresh, he'll be gone from here too. I'm no longer following this trader, nothing else in my account. So keep in mind, traders do all the work for you, but you still have the ability to step in at any time if you want to make adjustments. increase the trade size, decrease the trade size, close trade outs, switch traders. You can switch between traders, just turn one off, turn the other one on. That's something that you can do at any time on the fly. So I'll turn it back over to Chris there. We'll let you wind things down. Time got away from us once again, and we had to kind of rush through the end there. But we'll be back in. I'm out, unfortunately, next week. I will not be able to be here, but the week after that, we'll be back, and we'll get into some more detailed training once again.
All right. Thank you, AJ, for sharing your wisdom and knowledge of this platform, and for all of you for tuning in. We talk about it every time: learn, share, and help. What did you guys learn today? How can you share it with somebody else? Who's on that list of somebody who may be interested in this. Invite them to the webinars, or invite them to our replays, which is on mdcweeklyreplay.com. So you guys are able to help individuals and direct them to there or here. Either or works. And then, and that's you being helpful. So what did you learn? You share that knowledge, and then you help by providing the information that you have learned. And if you don't know the answers, that's okay. Send them to those weekly webinars. Send them here to these live webinars, and we're happy to help. Now, I know a lot of people have questions on pricing and where do we come in at. So let me just share that screen with you as always. If you take a look here, a builder is $99. What does that get you? You can see the check marks there. You get the Beginner Academy, Advanced Academy, Guide to Cryptocurrencies, Platform Tutorials, and you can see each one of those check marks and what you get with the Builder Pack. If you want to add on the Director Pack, what do you get in addition to the Director Pack versus the Builder Pack? Well, you get the market research webinars, the web analyzer, the social trading platform. That's what we're talking about here today. So that is added into the mix. If you want to go up another step and look at the executive rank, what does that provide you? Same thing. You're going to get some more things there. I don't know if you guys tune into our Monday DigiBank trainings, but you guys have that information there as well. So those are the 3 join options. Yes, you can upgrade at any time. Go ahead and have a look at those. And again, tune into our weekly webinars and join us here as we talk about DigiBank and social trading. For those of you who are already an affiliate, there is an opportunity presentation in your back office just for Akashx. So we have an opportunity presentation that covers everything: the house of brands, our products, our vision, the whole 9 yards. We do have an opportunity presentation just for Akashx. So if you didn't know that, now you know that. You can find it in the back office, and we look forward to having you guys tune in again next week on Monday. And then, of course, we'll resume these webinars here, not next week, but the following week. So appreciate your time. You guys have an amazing rest of your week. AJ, thank you so much for your time. And you guys, we'll see you next time. Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, Chris. Thanks, everyone. Have a great day.